North Carolina, the state where a 12-year-old found a 17-pound gold nugget in a creek, and his family used it as a doorstop for 3 years. First gold rush in American history started right here, decades before anyone heard of California. And that's the thing about North Carolina. The state has been quietly sitting on gold in every sense of that word for 200 years. First powered flight, birthplace of Pepsi. The mountains go higher than anything east of the Mississippi. And yet, when people talk about moving south, they say Florida, they say Texas. They don't say North Carolina. They don't even think to look. But I looked, and I found 8 properties that stopped me cold. The first one sits on a mountain with livestock barns, fruit orchards, and a view you couldn't buy in most states for any price. The last one is a brick house with an arched doorway you'd swear belongs on a building 10 times the price. From $289,000 all the way down to $45,000. I'm Joseph. I'm retired. And every week I pick a different state and dig through listings until I find the ones that shouldn't exist at that price. Subscribe to my channel Tiny Bucks Houses so you see them before everyone else does. And whatever you do, watch until the last house. Because at $45,000 that front door tells a completely different story than the price tag. Let's start at the top of the list. And at the top of a mountain. Nearly 12 acres of land that somebody spent years turning into the kind of life most people never get past talking about. Sheep grazing behind the fence, fruit trees lined up in rows, raised garden beds with shade covers, a creek running along the base of the property, and at the center of it all, a house with a covered porch and a row of blue rocking chairs facing a view that goes on until the mountains run out. 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, 1,492 square feet, built in 1988. The living room opens up under a vaulted wood ceiling with beams running the full length of the room. A stone wood stove sits on a raised hearth at one end with built-in wooden shelving along the walls. The kind of room where you light a fire on a cold night and the rest of the house can wait. The kitchen has teal-colored cabinets, granite countertops, and a window over the sink looking straight into the trees. The bedrooms are down the hallway, all 3 on the main level. The primary has wood-paneled walls and a window framing the hillside, carpeted ceiling fan overhead, and enough room that it doesn't feel squeezed. The second and third bedrooms follow the same feel. Wood walls, soft carpet, quiet. The bathrooms are simple and functional. Nothing flashy, nothing broken. Brand new roof overhead. Ductless heating and central air already installed. But this house isn't the story. The land is. Someone spent years turning these 12 acres into a place that feeds you. Fruit trees, apple, pear, peach, plum, fig, pomegranate, grape and muscadine vines, berry patches everywhere. 11 raised beds with shade covers already built over them. Between the orchard and the garden, your grocery list starts getting shorter the first season you're here. And then there's the animal side. Goat house, sheep barn, hay storage, chicken coops, a workshop with power and a general purpose building. The paddocks are already fenced for rotational grazing. You can see the paths worn into the grass where the animals move between them. And every outbuilding has its own little yellow crossing sign. The person who built all of this loved every minute of it. Will it ask something of you? Every day. The wood stove heats the main room. The water comes from a well. The road in is gravel. But every fence is already in place. Every barn is already standing. Every tree is already planted. You're not starting a homestead from zero. You're walking into one where someone already did the hardest part. Now, before you decide anything, let me tell you where this is. A town of about 700 people sitting in the foothills an hour south of Asheville. Close enough to reach it when you need to, far enough that it never follows you home. Forest City is 10 minutes down the road for groceries, hardware, and a hospital. Every June, they shut down Main Street there for the Cherry Bounce Festival, named after a moonshiner who made cherry whiskey on this same mountain 150 years ago. His recipe got so famous it ended up on riverboats all the way to New Orleans. The cherry trees are still growing up here, and if you want a weekend adventure, Chimney Rock State Park and Lake Lure are just up the road. But the truth is, with 12 acres of your own, you won't need to go looking for things to do. So here's what you're getting for the money. Nearly 12 acres on a mountain, a home with a new roof and a wood stove, an orchard already producing, barns already standing, garden beds already built, and a porch where the only thing between you and the horizon is air. But the next one is the kind of listing that makes you check the price twice and then check the photos again, because something definitely doesn't add up. The first time you see this house, you'll notice the roof. Red metal, sitting on white clapboard siding with a brick chimney rising up behind it. It looks like a farmhouse from 100 years ago, because it is. 1,702 square feet on nearly 6 acres. Let's walk through it. The dining room sets the tone for the whole house. A dark wood china cabinet against the wall, a chandelier with glass globes hanging above the table, and a blue floral wallpaper border running along the ceiling line. French doors lead you from room to room the way houses used to flow, before hallways became standard. The living room has a brick fireplace with a white tile surround and built-in cabinets on both sides. The kind of room that earns its spot in the house without trying. The kitchen is old-fashioned in the best way. White cabinetry, an arched doorway connecting it to the dining area, and enough room that you're not cooking with your elbows in the walls. The appliances are dated but working. 4 bedrooms, all on the main level, each one with a ceiling fan, and each one still carrying a little bit of whoever lived here last. They're ready to live in the day you move in. The single bathroom is the honest weakness here. It's old, it's small, and with 4 bedrooms in the house, it's the first thing a buyer would think about adding to. Now let's step outside. Nearly 6 acres, partially cleared, partially wooded, flat enough to use, treed enough for privacy. There's a workshop on the property already. The zoning is agricultural, which means animals, gardens, and outbuildings are all on the table. No HOA. No restrictions telling you what you can or can't build. Now let me tell you where this is. A town so small it only exists because one man, Isaac Godwin, walked up to the railroad company in 1878 and convinced them to put a station next to his house. And it worked. The station went up, people came, and a town grew around it. The trains don't stop here anymore, but the land stayed cheap, the air stayed quiet, and Fayetteville, with its hospitals, its grocery stores, its everything, is 17 miles down the road. Interstate 95 is a mile from your front door. You're on the entire East Coast without living on any of it. So here's what we've got. A 1920 farmhouse with a fireplace, French doors, a formal dining room, and 100 years of character you can't fake. 6 acres with agricultural zoning and no one telling you what to do with it. And this is where it gets interesting, because the next property costs less, but what you get there doesn't feel like a downgrade at all. This house sits at 3,000 feet. Dark wood, timber frame gables, a red front door, and a covered porch looking straight into the Blue Ridge Mountains. The trees wrap around it on every side, and when the leaves turn, this is the kind of place people drive hours to see from a car window. You'd be seeing it from your coffee chair. 3 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, 2,491 square feet on nearly 3 acres, built in 2009, fully furnished, everything you're seeing stays. The great room hits you first, a stone fireplace floor to ceiling, a vaulted ceiling 2 stories above you, and windows on every wall pulling the green in. White couches, hardwood floors, and the kind of quiet that only comes with elevation. A wrought iron spiral staircase in the corner winds up to a loft. Small table, a couple of chairs, sloped ceiling. The kind of spot where a book turns into a whole afternoon. The kitchen opens right off the living area. Maple cabinets, dark granite counters, stainless appliances, and an island in the center. Next to it, a dining space with room for a full table. Off the main level, there's a sitting room with wicker chairs and French doors that open onto the deck, morning coffee with nothing between you and the ridgeline, laundry behind wooden doors in the hallway. Everything on this floor is open, connected, and pointed at the view. The primary bedroom is upstairs. Vaulted ceiling, iron bed frame, carpet underfoot, wood-trimmed windows framing nothing but trees. The bathroom has a double vanity and a soaking tub set under the window. The lower level walks out to grade. Full-size windows, natural light, not a basement in any sense of the word. 2 more bedrooms down here, each with its own full bathroom. One is set up with twin beds, a bookshelf, and a desk by the window, ready for kids or guests the day you arrive. The other has big windows sitting right at tree level. You wake up and the forest is at eye height. There's a kitchenette with a counter, sink, microwave, and mini fridge. It's a complete guest suite. Your family visits, they have their own floor, their own entrance, and they're not in your way. Here's the honest part. The foundation dropped about a year after the house was built. The seller says it hasn't moved since. A mudslide hit one side at some point. No evidence of damage inside, but the siding underneath hasn't been fully checked. For the right buyer, the one willing to get an engineer out there and do the math, this could be the best deal on the entire list. Now let me tell you where this is. A town of about 450 people, quiet in the way that mountains are quiet. Spruce Pine is 14 miles away. Hospital, grocery store, hardware, everything you need on a regular run. Up the road is Roan Mountain, which has the largest natural rhododendron gardens on Earth. Every June the town shuts down for a festival around them. And 8 miles south is Penland School of Craft, one of the most respected in the country, which turned this whole valley into an artist's community. Galleries and studios in every direction. You're not in the middle of nowhere, you're in the middle of a place people choose. So here's what you get. A timber frame mountain cabin at 3,000 feet. Stone fireplace guest suite with its own kitchen and views from every window in the house. Yes, it needs an engineer's opinion. But the house is standing, the views aren't going anywhere, and the price has room built into it for whatever that opinion costs. Now, if you thought that property was already a strong deal, just wait until you see what comes next. It doesn't play by the same rules. A brick ranch on a corner lot in an established neighborhood. Metal roof overhead. Attached garage. Mature trees on every side. Built in 1959, the kind of house they built when they still built them to last. 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, 2,120 square feet on 1 acre. The front door opens into the living room, and the first thing you see is the far wall. Floor-to-ceiling red brick with an arched fireplace set right into the center. It's not a little decorative insert, it's the whole wall, and it gives this room a weight that most houses at this price just don't have. Big windows on both sides, carpet underfoot, and enough space that you can furnish it however you want, and it won't feel crowded. Through the doorway, you catch a glimpse of the kitchen, and this is where somebody spent real money. White cabinetry all the way around, granite countertops, a mosaic tile backsplash that wraps behind the stove and the sink, stainless steel range, microwave, dishwasher, all in place. The layout is an open L shape with enough counter space that 2 people can work in here without bumping into each other. This isn't a kitchen you're budgeting to redo, this is a kitchen that's already done. The bedrooms are down the hall, all 3 on the main level. The primary has 2 windows and enough square footage that a full bedroom set fits without touching the walls. The second bedroom sits across the hall, same good light, a pair of windows looking out into the trees. The third is at the end, a little quieter, a little more tucked away. Every one of them is move-in ready. Now the bathrooms, both have been completely gutted and rebuilt. Floor-to-ceiling gray tile, glass door walk-in showers, dark vanity cabinets with marble countertops, modern fixtures. At $71 a square foot, these bathrooms have no business looking this good. It's a 66-year-old brick ranch that someone loved enough to bring into this decade without losing what made it solid in the first place. Step outside. A full acre on a corner lot, front yard, backyard, side yard. Mature trees giving shade and privacy. The attached garage has its own driveway access, and overhead, a metal roof that's going to outlast the next 2 owners. Now let's talk about the location. Almost 20,000 people. This is a real town with everything in it. Grocery stores, hospital, restaurants, all right here. You're sitting right on Interstate 95 and 74, which means Fayetteville is 30 minutes north and the coast is about an hour east. The Lumber River runs straight through downtown, the only Blackwater River in North Carolina with a federal wild and scenic designation. People drive hours to paddle it. Your house would be 15 minutes away. And if you've ever seen Blue Velvet, David Lynch set that movie right here in Lumberton. This is the house on the list where you move in and change nothing. Everything that needed doing has already been done, and then the seller dropped the price by $20,000. At $71 a square foot, this is the kind of math that doesn't come around twice. But the next one changes the game, built before electricity was standard, and listed at a price that sounds like someone left a digit off. 1888. This house was already old before your grandparents were born. 2 stories of cream and blue clapboard with a wraparound porch and pecan trees in the yard that have been growing since before anyone on this street was alive. You see it from the sidewalk and you stop walking. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2,406 square feet. Let's walk through it. The front door opens and the staircase owns the room. Dark wood, carved balusters, a banister shaped by hand 130 years ago. Still solid, still beautiful, still the first thing your eye goes to. You could strip this house down to the studs and rebuild everything around that staircase, and it would be worth it. The main floor flows the way Victorians were meant to. Formal living room into formal dining room into a sitting area. The ceilings are high, plaster medallions still overhead, crystal chandeliers still hanging. Fireplaces with original mantels, some with tile surrounds, some framed in dark wood. The wainscoting runs waist-high through the hallways and the formal rooms, dark wood paneling that nobody makes anymore. Some of the windows still have stained glass set into the top frames. All of it original, all of it still here. Nobody gutted this house and filled it with drywall. The bones survived. The walls need new plaster in places. Some of the ceilings are coming apart. The kitchen needs to be rebuilt from scratch. Upstairs, the bedrooms need floors, walls, paint, everything. One bathroom still has a clawfoot tub sitting in it. The other needs a full redo. Every room in this house asks something of you, but every room also gives you something back that no amount of money can recreate. Step outside. The corner lot is wide and shaded, pecan trees everywhere. A detached 2-car garage sits behind the house. City water, city sewer, natural gas, all connected. And that second lot next door means you've got room to breathe, room to build, or room to sell separately if you want to get some of your money back before the renovation even starts. So where would you be living? This isn't a village in the middle of nowhere. 15,000 people, hospital in town, everything you need without driving an hour for groceries. Kerr Lake sits just north, the largest man-made lake on the eastern half of the country, and people drive from all over the state to get on it. You'd be 20 minutes away. And if you've ever heard the song Stand By Me, the man who sang it, Ben E. King, grew up right here in Henderson. This house isn't for someone looking to unpack boxes and settle in. It's for someone who sees a carved staircase under a crumbling ceiling and already knows what to do with it. At $52 a square foot, with a second lot included, I think it's definitely worth it for what you're getting. Now, if that one felt like a project, the next one comes back down to earth. Solid brick, clean bones, and a price that drops below $100,000. For the first time on this list, we're under $100,000. And what $92,000 buys you here is a 1947 brick bungalow that somebody built to last, sitting on a corner lot in one of the oldest towns in the country. The living room is the first thing you walk into, and the fireplace gets your attention before anything else. A tiled surround set into the wall with built-in shelving on both sides. The hardwood floors run from here through most of the house. Original, worn in the way that only real wood wears. Ceiling fan overhead, good windows, and enough space that the room doesn't feel like it's trying to be something it's not. The kitchen is dated. This is where the house shows its age. White metal cabinets, a mosaic tile backsplash that somebody added at some point, and a freestanding electric range. The layout works. It's an L shape with counter space and a window over the sink. But this room is waiting for the next owner to decide what it becomes. The walls are painted sage green and there are plantation shutters on the window. It's livable. It's just not finished. The 3 bedrooms sit along the back of the house. The primary is the largest. Hardwood floors, ceiling fan, 2 windows. The second and third bedrooms follow the same layout. Clean walls, good light, hardwood underfoot. None of them are huge, but none of them feel cramped. 1 bathroom for the whole house, white tile walls with a black accent border, a tub, and a pedestal sink. It's the obvious weakness. 3 bedrooms and 1 bath means whoever buys this is probably thinking about adding a second one, and with a corner lot, you've got room to expand. Out back, there's a screened-in porch off the rear of the house, the kind of spot that turns into your favorite room in the summer. A detached single-car garage sits behind the property, and the backyard is fenced with a chain-link gate. The lot isn't huge, just under a quarter acre, but on a corner it feels bigger than it is. So where is this? 20,000 people, one of the oldest towns in the state. Originally named Kinston after King George, they dropped the G after the Revolution and never looked back. The Neuse River runs right through downtown, and there's a Civil War ironclad warship sitting in a museum that they pulled out of that river in 1963. Hospital in town, grocery stores, everything you need. Chef Vivian Howard built a restaurant here that got so famous it turned into a PBS show. And now people drive from across the state just to sit at a table in a town most of them had never heard of. Let's put it all together. A brick house with a fireplace, hardwood floors, and a screened porch in one of the oldest towns in North Carolina with a river running through downtown. $92,000. But the next one has been sitting on the market at a price that makes you pause for a second. And what you get here might make you rethink the entire real estate market. $149 a year. That's the property tax on this house. You will spend more on dinner this weekend than this house costs you in taxes for 12 months. White Colonial, 2 stories, green metal roof, green shutters, red brick steps up to a covered front porch. Built in 1900 and listed at $69,000. 4 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, 1,500 square feet. The front door opens into a staircase hall. White newel post, white railings, and brand new vinyl plank flooring stretching through the entire first floor. Someone already did the floors. That changes the math on everything else. The rooms on the main level flow one into the next. Living room, dining area, kitchen. The walls are paneled in soft beige, the windows are tall with divided panes, and every room gets natural light. The kitchen has rustic toned cabinets, a stainless steel fridge, and a double sink under the window. It's simple, but it's functional, and it's clean. There's a half bath on this floor too. Upstairs, 4 bedrooms, one at a time down the hallway. They're not large, but they're honest rooms. Windows on everyone, closets, and that same new flooring throughout. There's a full bathroom up here. Built-in cabinets with glass panels in one of the rooms. The kind of small touch that reminds you this house is 125 years old and was built when details still mattered. As for the area, a town of 485 people sitting a few minutes from the Albemarle Sound, 50 miles of open water stretching all the way to the Outer Banks. Fishing, kayaking, boating, right here, not a weekend trip. There's a waterfront resort in town, right on the Sound. Greenville is about 45 minutes west. That's your hospital, your big grocery stores, your everything else run. But day to day, it's quiet, it's slow, and the water is close enough that you can smell it from your porch. $69,000, 4 bedrooms, new floors, metal roof, and a tax bill that most people spend on a single pair of shoes. This is what housing looks like when nobody's found the town yet. And the last one on this list doesn't play by any rules you've seen so far, $45,000. And what's behind that price is going to change the way you look at every house that came before it. I told you at the beginning, watch until the last house. Here it is. Look at that front door. A full brick arch, hand-laid, decorative, with a pattern in the brickwork that looks like it belongs on the entrance of a library or a courthouse. A brick walkway leads straight up to it. The whole front of this house announces itself like something that costs 10 times what they're asking. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1,518 square feet, built in 1910. Solid brick, 1 story, architectural shingle roof. Let's see what's inside. The living room is open, ceiling fan, white walls, original hardwood floors underneath. The floors are worn. They need sanding, staining, refinishing, but they're real hardwood, and they've been here for over 100 years. That's not a problem. That's an asset waiting to be uncovered. The rooms flow from front to back with doorways and hall connections, a classic early 20th century layout. The kitchen is basic. White and tan cabinets, a black freestanding range, tile floor. It works. It's not pretty. But at $30 a square foot, you're not paying for a finished kitchen. You're paying for the bones and the land and that front door. The bedrooms are down the hall, blue-gray walls in one, ceiling fans, windows with blinds. They're not large rooms, but they're real rooms. The ceiling in one has plaster damage. That's the kind of thing you see in a house at this price, and it's the kind of thing that costs hundreds to fix, not thousands. The single bathroom is small and dated. Toilet, tub, basic sink. It needs updating, but nothing is falling apart. Central air and forced air electric heat already in place. City water and sewer available. And a front entrance that will stop every person who walks up to it for the first time. Let me tell you about the city this house is sitting in. This is the biggest one on the entire list. About 55,000 people. Amtrak stops here. 3 trains north and 3 trains south every day. You can get on a train in Rocky Mount and be in Washington or New York without ever touching a highway. The Tar River runs through the center of town, and the old Rocky Mount Mills, the second cotton mill ever built in North Carolina, has been turned into a campus with breweries, restaurants, apartments, and event spaces. Thomas Edison picked this town for one of his first power plants. This isn't a town that's trying to become something. It already is. $30 a square foot. A 1910 brick house with hardwood floors, central air, and an arched front entrance that tells a completely different story than the price tag. In a city with Amtrak service, a revitalized downtown, and a highway that connects you to the entire East Coast. This is the last house on the list, and it might be the one you think about the longest. And that's North Carolina. 8 houses. From a 12-acre homestead on a mountain to a brick house with an arched doorway for the price of a used car. Every one of them real, every one of them listed right now. If any of these stopped you, the links are in the description. If you want to see what I find next week in a different state, subscribe to Tiny Bucks Houses and hit the bell so you don't miss it. And if you know someone who's been talking about moving south but hasn't pulled the trigger, send them this video because North Carolina has been quietly sitting on gold for 200 years. And these 8 houses are the proof.